Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. I wanted to talk to you about my recommendations from ColourPop. It's a great brand, it's really affordable, and they do have some really quality items. So today I'm using all of my ColourPop items, and I did bring in some sparkle from Oden's Eye, but besides the little bit of sparkle on my lids, everything else I'm wearing is ColourPop. And if you want to see what I did and what I recommend, then don't go anywhere. I thought I might do a video talking about my recommended products from ColourPop, and then I thought, you know what, why don't I do a video where I'm using the ColourPop products that I have, and it could be a little chatty get ready with me while I demonstrate the products that I'm recommending. So I was going to dive right in with eyes, but then I remembered that I happen to have this pretty fresh hyaluronic acid tinted moisturizer, which is old. I haven't used it in a while, but this is a ColourPop video, right? So I might as well use it. So I'm going to put a little bit of it on a sponge. I don't usually do any kind of, honestly, like a primer or a foundation or anything. This is a tinted moisturizer. I don't know if it's designed to be used or applied rather with your fingers or what. I'm going to use a sponge simply because I don't want to get my hands all dirty right now. that's really all there is to it. Quite frankly, I don't know what is the point of a tinted moisturizer. I just don't know much about it. Like, is it a little bit of a tint, but your skin has this nice coat of protection from the sun, or just to moisturize, or what? I'm not really sure. But I don't have a problem with this product. I like extremely light coverage if I do anything on my face. That's the main reason I don't usually do anything on my face. So I can say that this product was well reviewed, and that's one of the reasons I picked it up when I was looking for face kinds of products. I can also say that it has a very light finish and a very light feel. I mean, touching my face now, I don't even feel product on it. So I guess I would say I recommend it. I don't use it enough to be able to really come behind it, but I can say that when I do use it, it's perfectly fine. It's comfortable, it's not thick or cakey, it's not dry, it's not leaving weird residue. So I guess I would say I recommend that. But of course, this is coming from a place of basic ignorance when it comes to skincare kinds of products. Do with that information what you will. I really only put that on because I happen to have it, and this is the ColourPop video. I'm going to put on some lip stuff. This is the glowing lip formula. This is the shade Mid-Century, and it's a little bit redder than I want, so I'm actually going to top it with another product. I like the glowing lip formula. It feels like a balm. It feels creamy and smooth. It's got a lot of color payoff, and unlike many lipsticks that I've personally used, it's not drying. It doesn't feel like, okay, I've put this product on and now my lips are super dry and uncomfortable. It doesn't feel like that. This is just a nice, kind of lightweight feeling, smooth, creamy formula. It will transfer. It doesn't dry down matte the way that some other products do, so I wouldn't put it on right before you eat or before you want to drink from your cup or something. It's cute and it's nice. It's just a matter of choosing the right time to wear it. And I'm going to top it with a ColourPop lip oil, which is a tried and true favorite. I love the lip oil formula. It's got a nice doe foot applicator. It's a good size. It's not too thick. It doesn't pick up too much product. It fits really securely in the component, and there's a good amount of product. I'm still working through my very first lip oils from ColourPop, and I will absolutely repurchase them. I love the lip oils because, again, they're smooth and creamy. They do moisturize, they do hydrate, they do last a decent amount of time. It's not an all-day thing, but you're gonna have a nice level of moisture on your lips for some time. It feels like an oil. It feels like maybe you'd put some olive oil on your lips, but it's got a little bit of a tint. Not heavily tinted. That's why, like, I'm putting this one on top of something that's more bricky colored. I'm getting a little bit of a tint, but there's still some warmth shining through. I think it'll be okay. I really, really recommend the ColourPop lip oil formula, and they're actually more affordable than a lot of others. I think when I first started buying them, they were $6, but now they're $8. What I usually do is I go on ColourPop's website, I go to the sale page, and I buy all the lip oils that they've got on sale. And at that point, they're usually about $4, so I can buy more. And I don't really care that much about the colors because it's a really light color payoff. It's almost totally sheer with just a tint. So I don't really care about the colors because I'm just going to use them over anything. Now for the eyes. I am priming my eyes. Today I'm using Glamlight. Everything I'm using, by the way, is linked below in the description box. I'm not affiliated or anything with ColourPop or anybody. I think that ColourPop did release an eye primer. I don't remember, and I'm not even sure if it's something that's available for purchase now. I don't remember, honestly, I'm sorry. I probably should have looked, but I am doing this video slightly spur of the moment. It was going to be just chatting about the products I recommend, but now since it's become a full face or a get ready with me, I'm happening to be talking about other products that I wasn't planning to. Anyway, I don't remember if they came out with a primer. I think they did. I think it was not much of a hit, so I don't know if they have one now. We're going to be using a ColourPop palette. Now I only have two. I think I only have two ColourPop palettes left. This is one of them. At Forest Sight, when they collaborated with Raw Beauty Kristi, this palette is beautiful. I don't love the ColourPop formula anymore, which is why I have gotten rid of kind of a lot of them, like a lot of what I own from them, but this palette's got memories, and I do like the color story, and it saved itself. The last time I used it, I recreated a look from something I saw on Instagram, and I really liked the look, so that's partly what kept this palette in my collection. So I'm going to start with Old Growth. Now, like I said, I do not have a lot of ColourPop palettes anymore, but I started with them. They were my first big brand the first brand I really got into, and I bought a lot from them. I bought a lot of their monochromatics and a lot of things recommended to me by Judy's channel. And I will say that even though ColourPop is not my most favorite brand anymore, it's really a very good brand to start with. It's a very, very user or beginner friendly formula. The way I'm applying my eyeshadow today is the light to dark method, so I'm starting light and then I'm going to slowly build it up. The ColourPop shadows, generally, in my experience, do build up nicely. I feel that they're really easy to work with. They give you a nice light coverage. And now I'm going to take the same brush, go into the next shade, which is called Homegrown, and I'm going to deepen up a little bit more. Deepen this outer crease a bit. And with a smaller and tighter brush, I'm going to pick up Let It Rain. This is the deepest shade in the palette. It's almost a matte black, but it has a little bit of sparkle in it. And the sparkle kind of leans bronze, so it works nicely with the more neutral tones in here. This is a really nice deepening shade, actually. This is deepening and building quite beautifully. I think the ColourPop eyeshadow is very beginner friendly because it's not very grippy, you know, it doesn't stick where you've put it. It moves around a little bit, so it's really easy to work with. It's really easy to do this kind of application technique where you're going light to dark and you're building, as opposed to starting with the darkest shade and then trying to work it out from there. That can be tricky if you're not very experienced. So I do recommend the ColourPop formula, not only for people who are just starting out, because it is good quality. I don't dislike their palettes. There are just formulas that I prefer. I think ColourPop does a good job with packaging, especially their collab palettes. The packaging is not only really sturdy in quality, but it's also very cute and creative. And I also think that the price point is excellent. That's one of the things that really got me when I started getting into this, because it was so easy to buy a seriously decent palette for a few bucks. If you shop the sale page, or they often have 30% off sales throughout the year, you can get, it's good eyeshadow. Okay, now for the shimmers. I do like the ColourPop shimmers. They apply really, really nicely with your fingers. But the shimmers in this palette are not going to give me what I want for today's look. I've got a warm gold and a warm silver with some green brown in it. They're very, very pretty. I guess I can swatch them for you just for the purposes of today's video. Like, they're pretty, you know? They have a nice color payoff. They perform really well if you use your finger to apply them, because the oils in the finger just make the shimmers stand out a bit more. They're nice. But because I want to wear this look all day and I want it to be a little bit different than what those shimmers can give me, I've decided to dip into my Planet Spirit palette from Oden's Eye. I think I want to play with this and possibly this. These are the shimmers I tend to use in this palette, so I will just grab them with my finger as well and zip through it because it's not ColourPop related. I'm bringing in a little bit more of the black because I want the contrast against the lightness of the shimmer. I thought it'd be fun to pull in some orange, so I picked up the Chanterelle shade from the ColourPop palette. Look at the pigment. It's just, you know what? I think that ColourPop sometimes has a little bit of spotty quality in their palettes. Like, that's one of the other reasons that I don't really buy their palettes anymore, because sometimes you get a real winner and other times it's a bit disappointing. but the quality of this palette was really good. Just a bit of the Oden's Eye Shimmer for an inner corner highlight. I always recommend the Creme Gel liners from ColourPop. They are my favorite waterline eyeliner ever. I've tried a few different brands. I think I've tried about 6 brands, and I always go back to ColourPop. There's a huge array of colors. They just reformulated them to make them waterproof. They're great. So this is one of my favorites. This is Two Can Do It. It was from the Lush Life collection. It was discontinued for a while, but then they brought it back to my great delight. And it's basically a metallic marigold. It's so good. Now I'm going to add some blush. So the blush I'm using today is the Super Shock Cheek from ColourPop. I think that one of the things that made ColourPop famous was the Super Shock eyeshadows. Really soft, very sparkly, and then they just sort of took off from there. But they also have the Super Shock Cheek and the Super Shock highlighter formulas. I've heard the highlighters are gorgeous, and I believe that because the blush formula is really nice. So this is the shade No Vacancy. It's just a soft peachy coral. It's really pretty. I hope you guys weren't hearing my baby cry all throughout this video. She was upstairs having a bit of a meltdown and she just wasn't settling. And I kept thinking, which is often the case, that she'll find her pacifier and calm down. And that didn't happen. So her sister was upstairs and, you know, she wasn't able to calm her down either. So I went up and took care of her. And it was so cute because I took her out of her crib and I nursed her. And while she's nursing, she's latched, but she's also looking up at me with these sweet eyes, and she's got a mischievous glint in her eye. And then she sort of tucks her head down, all while nursing. She tucks her head down like a turtle retreating into its shell, and then pops it back up again to play games with me. It's too cute. It's just too cute. And even though she's skipped her nap and is therefore very moody, you just can't be mad at someone who's so stinking adorable. The Super Shock Cheek is a very nice kind of a matte formula. It's really soft, it's really gentle and very buildable. I mean, I put on really light blush, usually so much blush that I don't think it comes across at all on camera and barely in real life. That's just my aesthetic, but I know that there are people who use lots more blush and they are able to get quite a nice amount of payoff, like color payoff, from this formula. So I really like the Super Shock Cheek. I actually think that I might get some more of this formula in different colors, and I do think I want to try the Super Shock highlighter because I've heard it's great, and I really like this formula, so probably is great. As far as the Super Shock eyeshadows themselves, I know that a lot of times the eyeshadow palettes come with a Super Shock inside. Sometimes they break because it's a bit more of a softly pressed formula. So I don't know if they include that formula in all of their palettes or what, but you can also buy Super Shock eyeshadows as individuals, I think. So it's certainly worth looking into if you like a lighter wash of sparkle, which I do like, and you don't mind having individual pots. It would give more integrity to the shadow itself because it's not in a palette that's a little bit more open. It's a bit more contained, and if it breaks, it's easy to press back into place. So that's everything, guys. As I mentioned before, everything I've used is linked in the description box. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I would really enjoy hearing what are some ColourPop products that you like most. I am always raving about the creme gel liners and the lip oils, but as I said in today's video, I also enjoy the glowing lip. I really like the Super Shock face formula. They have some really nice products for very, very reasonable and affordable prices. And even though we've all the prices are rising because of inflation and the economy and whatnot, ColourPop is still extremely affordable. And I'm always on a budget, low buy, no buy sort of thing. So whatever I can get, if it's a good quality product for a good price, I'm on board with that. Thank you for being here today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts about ColourPop, about your favorite products from them. Tell me what you think of the eye look. I know I didn't use ColourPop Sparkle, but you know, the rest is ColourPop. I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go if you like this content, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!